Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Moletrap here. Sorry. Let's try it again. And you know what? Sometimes I do actually, if I realize I've forgotten something, I will, you know, if I'm 30 seconds into a commentary and I'm like, oh, I forgot to look something up or I screwed something up, I'll restart, but I'm gonna let that one go. I'm gonna let that be hopefully an amusing part to your day with me going blah, 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 trying to say, I don't even remember what I was trying to say. Moletrap here, I think that was what I was trying to say. Which I am. I am here. I am Moletrap and I am here. And I am, as usual, once again, coming at ya with game number 3 of the IOPS OSL. And I actually started to say this in the last couple games, I think. I don't remember if I finished the thought, so I'm going to finish the thought now, which I'm pretty sure that I'm going to find out after the finals that I've been pronouncing IOPS wrong the whole time, like, or something like that. I guess what I need to do is I need to just go back and listen to some of these intros and see if I can hear the Koreans referring to it and see if they actually call it IOPS or if they call it IOPS or something like that. Anyway, so game number 3 between Goodfriend and Julyzerg. They're showing the cheerfuls of the two players, which I believe are fan made. I think like the fan groups, the fan clubs make like a cheerful, which is these placards that are kind of like cheering for the player, and I think the fan clubs make one that they get to put gets put in their booth there, cheering for them, which is kind of cool. It's really neat that, like, especially in these early days, I think, but even on to the late Kespa era, you know, in 2011, 2012, there was a lot of accessibility in a way. Like the fan clubs could just go and, like, you know, if you think about a lot of other sports or whatever, like, there is no way you ever get near your favorite players. And you know, I don't think you even do that even in like the North American esports scene right now. Like, can you go to a League of Legends tournament and just like go up and like say hi to your favorite player? I guess you maybe at conventions or something like that, or big events where everyone's wandering around, you can maybe catch them. But there's not a ton of accessibility. But in Korea, it's very different. It was, you know, the players were not super accessible. It's not like anyone could just walk up and talk to them, but they were there, and sometimes they would stick around and talk to fans afterwards or something like that. Sometimes the fans would stick around after the broadcast, and you know, a few would stick around long enough that they'd be able to, you know, catch one of the players after the day was over, after the tournament was over. So it's just kind of cool that there's like actually a relationship between the fan club, the online fan club, and the actual player, and I don't know. It's just interesting. Anyway, yes, this is our wonderful pseudo island map, Dream of Ballet. We do, of course, we have I guess it's standard TVZ on this map to build your barracks next to the edge, float them over, and build some marines to try and pressure the Zerg expansion. Now, I don't think we're gonna see, it doesn't look like we're seeing, oftentimes we'll see a barracks and a command center built, so they can actually float the command center over and build SCVs on the low ground, and then use the SCVs to good effect, making bunkers and what have you to enhance the harassment effect of the low ground units. We're not seeing that this time. He's just gonna float the barracks over. He does have another command center, but he's just not floating it. He's just not that I've seen. Maybe he did already do that, and I missed it because I wasn't paying attention because I was rambling about other stuff, thinking about Korea and its in the esports scene. And I also, I'm just thinking about this more now, like, it's also kind of cool that, like, it's part of the broadcast. Like, it's something they specifically put on the microphone on the broadcast, like, at the beginning when, if you ever hear, you've probably heard it before, but you may not. Some of you may not know what they're saying. Basically, at the beginning when you hear them, they're like, you know, Julyzerg fans, 1, 2, 3, and then everyone says Julyzerg fighting, and then they say Goodfriend fans, 1, 2, 3, Goodfriend fighting. That's what they're saying. It's like it's part of the broadcast that like the fans cheering at the beginning for both the players is part of the broadcast, and that's just really kind of cool. And really interesting that the Overlord might be able to get away, but it's running for dear life. It's floating for all its little wiggly floating arms can do. Wiggle faster, floaty arms, you can do it. I'm having a loopy day today. He wiggled away. He made it. The Overlord lives. Anyway, we got 2 gases for Julyzerg. Almost certainly going to be making a Spire very soon, but there's a lot of Marines being made on the low ground. We're actually getting a nice, timely view of Goodfriend's first-person view. We can see that Stim, I believe, was just started. He started to make medics as well, which, you know, makes sense because you can't start your Stim until your academy finishes. But he's got this nice little attack force. Now, is he going to go for some pressure? By this point, I don't know. He knows, I think, where Julyzerg is, but it's a bit of a distance to go across the map that entire way. So he may actually... Okay, this could be catastrophic, actually, for Goodfriend, because he's running across the map with his whole little army here. He's got a couple turrets. A few turrets around to defend, but that's it. He's going to have to be Johnny on the spot with repairing those turrets. And actually, the turrets at his natural are going to be very difficult to repair. They're in a very good spot for the SCVs to get to. He actually pushes out, and now he's kind of pulling back with those Marines. Kind of an interesting choice to move out and then come back. You know, normally that you'd force Sunkens on against the Zerg by doing that. But with this map, and with such a long distance on this map, I don't know if that actually accomplished anything. Oh no, Julyzerg has rallied his Mulus into turret fire. They take some free damage. One Mulus is almost dead before it can even fire a shot. A little bit sloppy there. And now Goodfriend is in an interesting spot where he's trying to make some Marines and medics in his main as well, because he knows he needs that defense, because he has to defend the low ground units at the same time as defending the high ground. And I say high ground and low ground. I think that technically on the map they're considered to be the same level, but it's just easier to refer to as high ground and low ground because of the ridge that separates them. Maybe I should call it the island and the non-island or something like that. The islands and the mainland, I don't know, the mesas and the valleys. He's now floated his factory over. He's going to start producing tanks and get siege tech, which is of course the good follow-up that you can then siege up from the low ground. Julyzerg has Zerglings on his island. That's kind of interesting. But he's gotten drops, and he's actually managed to get drones at the 2 spawn points at the corners of the map. Oh, goodness gracious. Goodfriend has about 4 minutes right now to kill Julyzerg. Otherwise, he's going to have 4 gases, 4 bases, sorry. He's going to have a lot of hatcheries, and he's going to be able to start, he's going to have the drop tech to start producing units on the map and take complete control of the map. So I don't think Goodfriend knows this, but Julyzerg has invested a lot in getting drops, getting 2 bases in the corners of the map. So he is vulnerable at this moment, but Goodfriend is having to play a little bit of defense. Now here's the thing: is he is going to go and attack within those 4 minutes. Now 3.5 minutes left, because he's just waiting for that tank and siege mode. And once he gets 1 or 2 tanks and siege mode, he can push across the map. He can siege up on the low ground. And he can start killing Julyzerg's bases. And with only Mutalisks to defend, it's going to be really difficult for Julyzerg to actually kill off those units on the low ground and kill off the tanks. Anyway, we'll see how this goes. He's got 2 tanks there. Siege mode is not quite complete yet, but it will be soon. I think Goodfriend might want to start pushing across the map right now. He knows he's got a long distance to go. Julyzerg has +1 weapons on his Mulus, by the way. which is going to make them more effective against killing Marines. But the thing is, you usually want to go in with some Zerglings or something like that in order to do more damage. But okay, actually, oh, is he going to be able to drop? Oh wait, is he going to just drop the main? Well, it looks like that might not actually work unless he goes in with the Mutalisks as well. And Goodfriend's entire army is trapped on the low ground, trapped on the mainland. I think he's going to go in with a drop of some Zerglings. He's going in with the Mutalisks first. They are going to take the turret damage, and they're just soaking up so much damage. He's just going in to kill the Marines, but he's sacrificing Mutalisks to kill Marines, and the Zerglings are going to pop out, and they're going to be able to do massive amounts of damage. They're going to be able to kill the turrets, and look at this. Goodfriend has moved his army around the south, but there's nothing he can do. He doesn't have dropships yet. He can't get his main army up into his base. He doesn't have any production buildings in his base. Julyzerg has countered the push on the low ground. No, he does have 3 barracks in his main, actually. I didn't see that. He actually did have some of his barracks in his main. He's going to be able to produce units. But in the meantime, these Zerglings are doing so much damage. He's killed off a lot of Marines. But all the Mutalisks are dead. I think Goodfriend might just win this game now, actually. For a second, it looked like a brilliant maneuver by Julyzerg to go where Goodfriend couldn't send his army to defend. But Goodfriend has defended just with his backup army. And now he's sending tanks and medic Marines across the map. And Julyzerg has no Mutalisks to deal with this. He's got no Zerglings that he can drop on the low ground to deal with this. He is just going to get his second base shelled to death very quickly. And with 3 tanks, Julyzerg can go around and, Goodfriend can probably go around and shell the gas as well. Drones are getting killed off. Some of the drones run not the best location. Look at this. He's trying to make more Mutalisks. Now here's the thing. Julyzerg still does have 4 gas. He built those the corner bases, and he does have 4 gases going right now because he hasn't actually lost the gas. He's only lost mineral mining at this base, so he's actually not hurting for mining really. But in doing so, he's made another flight of Mutalisks, but some of them dying flying over those Marines. Again, a little bit sloppy there. Julyzerg is going to lose that base, but he's going for a Mutalisk counterattack. Jeez, he has so much gas. He's made another dozen Mutalisks right off the bat. This is ridiculous, and he's flown directly across the map. He's now going after the production buildings on the low ground of Goodfriend. Goodfriend does have a dropship out now, probably a second one in production right now. But look at this, he has to float his buildings off the low ground, and now Goodfriend is trapped in his main. And this is the thing. Oh my, this is insane. It looked like a brilliant defense by Goodfriend, but it still kind of worked because Julyzerg's entire... kind of what I said before. Remember I said if he doesn't kill him in the next 4 minutes, Julyzerg's going to have map control. Now Julyzerg does have map control. So if Julyzerg can deal with this force on the low ground outside of his main, he'll be able to clean it up because he just has map control right now with his Mutalisks. Now he has fallen back his Mutalisks actually. So is maybe given up that map control actually. Goodfriend is probably trying to reproduce that command center. He actually built a command center and it was killed in production. Not canceled. I think it was killed by those Zerglings in that earlier attack. But now can he get out of his base? Okay, he does have the dropships. He's rebuilt the command center. Julyzerg's hunting around for it with his Mutalisk flock. Oh no, those dropships are not defending that new base. They're going for a kill on that bottom left base. Goodfriend it's making a smart move here. If he can cut off those side resources because Julyzerg only has Mutalisk to defend. It's all he can do. Oh no, he flies his Mutalisk. They're on move command to top the Marines. He loses a few of them and takes a lot of damage to others. And he is going to be killed. Oh my gosh, so many drones are dying in this bottom left base. He's going to be able to come in here and clean it up finally with these Mutalisks. And he is just massing Mutalisks right now. He doesn't care. He is just massing Mutalisks. He's not trying to get ground units at all. He may try and get lurkers on the low ground is what I'm expecting at some point. But right now he's just saying, you know what? Still got 4 gases. Guess what? It's going to be 3 now. Another drop at the top right. Your Mutalisks cannot be everywhere at once, Julyzerg. Oh, no, and he flies more Mutalisks. Oh, no! He just lost so many Mutalisks for free flying over those Marines. That's the second time that they've flown directly over the giant Marine force. Some Mutalisks popping out at this top right location are going to defend the hatchery at least, but he's lost so many drones and he loses more Mutalisks. Oh, no. Goodfriend is now going to be able to assault the bottom left base. I think Goodfriend is going to win this game. It looked like Julyzerg had so much map control. I almost wonder if he should have given up his natural. Instead of flying Mutalisks back to try and defend his natural, if he'd just given up that natural and kept those Mutalisks around Goodfriend's base and just basically continue to keep him in his base. You know, hunt down dropships, hunt down expansions, make sure those barracks didn't float back out into the main area. I wonder if Julyzerg could have kept map control, but instead he's lost the map control here, and Goodfriend is punished him for it by attacking both the expansions in the corners of the map. And just, you know, the Mutalisks were like, oh, we're Mutalisks, we can fly wherever we want, but no, you can't fly wherever you want. If there's a giant Marine army in the middle of the map, it's gonna kill you. And so, it just pains me to think about so many Mutalisks have been lost just to carelessly flying over Marines. Julyzerg could have another dozen Mutalisks right now, and he doesn't. He's still continuing to just produce Mutalisks, though. This is insanity. Greater Spire going down now as well. I don't know if he can really support this. He is down to 3 gases. 2, maybe 2. I guess he might have gotten top right up and running in. Oh my gosh, look at this. Mass turrets. He's building like 10 turrets at that low ground spot. Just he says, you know what? You only got Mutalisks? Fine, I'm just going to build a bunch of turrets. If you're not going to build any ground units, then I'll just build anti-air, and that'll be that. Okay, so Julyzerg has started mining that top right base. He's still at 3 gas. The Greater Spire is about to finish morphing. Is it going to be enough, though? Is the Greater Spire tech going to be enough? That is a lot of dropships. That is a killing blow amount of dropships. I don't know if those are full. They think the units are probably, if he's smart, on the low ground. They're just escorting. Nope, they are absolutely full of units. Goodfriend has such a large army right now. And the Mutalisks are going to try and fly over again. He's going to go after the tanks. A squad of Marines is going in to attack the base. And they are going to get some damage done, but there's no medics with them. And he's got his army split in half. Oh no, the medics were there. They just were split apart. His units were attacking in a line. He's going to lose all of them. Goodfriend, no, that was your chance. It was such a smart move. But instead he panicked and he just attack moved his army. So they just ran in a line and the Mutalisks were able to clean them up very easily. You know, if he'd even just, you know, flown and just drop commanded all of the dropships on the hatchery, the hatchery would be dead and his units would be in a defensive position. Nice irradiates going down. Julyzerg not pulling his units out, just going in for an attack. Instead, he's going to lose all of his Mutalisks again, and then he GG's. What? Julyzerg just gets outplayed. Julyzerg gets outplayed. The ZVT Master is being TVZ'd to death. Goodfriend brings the series to a 2-1 advantage, and he's 1 game away from succeeding and going to the finals against Nada. This is not what I was expecting at all. I mean, it's not unexpected either, because I told you before, like, I think Goodfriend is just such a solid player in this Star League. He's playing out of his mind. This is just absolutely amazing. But, you know, again, you know, I think Julyzerg lost that game rather than Goodfriend winning it. You know, Julyzerg had this situation where he has the corner bases. He's got 4 gases. He's getting the hive tech. He's got some map control with his Mutalisks. And then, you know, and there was just a couple moments, so I'm not going to be able to catch them really. Wait, is this actually one of them? No, it's not. But, you know, there's just these moments where Julyzerg's like, I'm going to fly my Mutalisks over the top of all your Marines. On move command. On move command. And take free damage. and he just, you know, you need to fight with the Zerglings if you're gonna fight as well. So he lost a lot of Mutalisks just for free damage, and then he was only making Mutalisks. He didn't have any support units, didn't have any lurkers or anything like that. Didn't have any Zerglings along with it, so he's just trying to go for his aggressive style. And, you know, I'm not going to say it's wrong because, you know, it works for Julyzerg. He's, you know, one of the best Zergs, maybe the best Zerg in the game in 2005. He knows what he's doing, but it just doesn't work out for him. And the sloppy play, you know, that is not best Zerg in 2005 play. Having your Mutalisks fly over Marines and not paying attention and losing several of them, it just didn't work. And, you know, he could have won it too. I mean, think about this last fight here. He's only got Mutalisks, right? And he goes in for an attack. Okay, this is where he cleans up those Marines. That's actually really good for Julyzerg. But then in this final fight, look at this. He doesn't pull the irradiated ones out. He lets the irradiates do full damage. He just attack moves in here. And imagine if there's another 18 Mutalisks here. Imagine if there's some lurkers coming in from the top during that attack. Imagine if he pulls his rated Mutalisks out as well, or flies them over the top of the Marines, for example. Julyzerg could still win that, right? And he doesn't. But instead of having an extra dozen Mutalisks and a bottom left base, he doesn't. He just got outplayed in that sense. So anyway, Goodfriend is going to go up 2-1. Not what I was expecting, but Goodfriend could win the fourth game and advance to the finals. But it's not over yet. Julyzerg can pull it back. He can tie up the situation and bring it to a game 5 on Neo Guillotine again and try and win the series. We're going to see what happens there. But just well played by Goodfriend. Absolutely amazing play. GG. Thanks for watching.